Look up in the sky, it's the Griffins versus the Eagles, next on Quiz Kids.
It's the Bay Area Quiz Kids, brought to you by the San Mateo Credit Union. And now, the best host on the West Coast, Brad Friedman.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Quiz Kids, and we bring back two of our Elite Eight teams. Let's meet them now over here, the Crystal Springs Uplands Griffins. And they're taking on the Harker Eagles. Let's say hello and welcome back to Crystal Springs team, Greg Owen. Greg, you did a really fun thing at school a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, last Saturday, actually, it was a puzzle hunt.
Uh-huh.
And I wrote it with some friends of mine. Basically, we get in a bunch of teams, and we give them all 17 different puzzles that they have to solve over the course of the day.
Multiple schools participated, quite a few.
Yes, we had 27 teams this year.
Who were the winners?
The winners were Pally.
Pally
High
High School.
School.
Congratulations
Yeah.
to them. That sounds like a lot of fun. I hope it'll grow bigger and bigger each year.
So do I.
Emily Cohn. Emily, for pleasure only, not to perform. You've been playing piano for 12 years.
Yes, I have.
What does playing piano provide for you?
Well, it lets me relax. Like, I come home and I just play on the piano, and I also really like just listening to the music it creates. I play classical and Elton John because neither are very discordant.
Classical and Elton John. You're working on Beethoven right now, and I'm sure Elton would be pleased to know that he rates with Beethoven and Mozart. Sam Packard. You want to tell us a little bit about these hot, fancy new uniforms that you guys are sporting?
Yeah, hot and fancy is right, Brad.
Yeah.
Well, we were wondering how we should coordinate for this Elite Eight match, and our coach, Mr. Wadley, descended into the depths of our gym and found deep in storage these wonderful uniforms.
From about, 1968 or so, right?
Well, they certainly are timeless.
They're timeless. Classic. Sam, you can have my job when I'm done with it. But for now, let's give you a chance to earn some points. Today's categories are exciting and thrilling as always. They are up and down, number please, and hi there.
I think we're going to go with up and down?
Yeah.
Up and down?
Up and down. All right. Each answer will contain either the word up or the word down. It's a nickname for Australia.
Down under.
Down under.
Correct. It's the 2009 movie starring George Clooney as a hatchet man who fires people.
Up in the air.
Up in the air.
Correct. It is the address of David Cameron.
Oh, something Downing Street, number 10? Number 10 Downing Street?
Correct. It's the metal tube that carries rainwater from your roof to the ground.
Drain pipe.
Downage pipe.
No, it's a downspout.
Oh.
It's the 2001 movie about a failed U.S. military operation in Somalia.
Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down.
You got it. It's a 1933 novel by George Orwell, no relation to the Bette Midler movie 50 years later.
Down and out. Down and out in Paris and London.
You got it. And finally, it's when you move from leopard to snow leopard, or from Windows Vista to Windows 7.
Upgrade.
You got it for 60 points. Congratulations. We will meet the Harker Eagles after these messages. Harker and Olivia Zhu. Olivia, Harker's been involved in quiz bowls for many years, but this year you've started a new tradition at practice.
Right, so every time somebody does really well in practice or gets a lot of questions right, we give them a candy treat.
A candy treat. And what is the candy treat?
Dum Dum Lollipops.
A Dum Dum Lollipop. So in addition to a treat, they are learning about irony.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Richard Cho, you have a lifelong love of travel, and back in the 3rd grade, you took a family trip and received an interesting souvenir.
Oh, yeah. So we were driving from Paris to Switzerland, and we were playing bingo, and I won this little bottle of wine.
I want to make this clear. You were on a bus, and your parents do not give wine to their 3rd grade child. No. It was a tour bus, and you won the bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And in 3 years, you can drink your souvenir.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Should be nicely aged by then. Peter Gao, this I feel is so unfair. We may have to take a minute with this. The U.S. Marines came recruiting at your school, and what did they bring with them?
They brought corporate sponsors and a BMX contingent, and
They brought free T-shirts, is what they brought.
brought free T-shirts.
And they ran out before you could get a T-shirt,
ran out
right?
before I could
so
get
you
one.
went down to the headquarters and said, I want my T-shirt, and what they said?
They said you got to do 20 pull-ups, and I only could do 3, and so they gave me
They gave
this.
you the 3 pull-up lanyard, but you want the 20 pull-up T-shirt, and I believe, and I want to tell the Marines, if you're going to do the pull-ups, it's got to be for everybody. So get Peter his T-shirt now.
Please, Sergeant Rodriguez.
Sergeant
My back will
Rodriguez,
never
Peter
take it.
cares about the Marines. All right, you guys, what do you want to pick? Number, please, or hi there?
We're going to go with number, please.
Number, please. This is very complex. Each answer contains a number. First, this is the science fiction movie classic featuring a black monolith and a computer named Hal.
2001.
2001.
Right. It's slang for a guitar referring to the number of strings.
6 string.
6 or 5?
Yeah,
6 string?
6 strings is right. This is the title of the middle book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
2 hours.
2 towers.
The snicker, he says. Yes. Tchaikovsky orchestral piece traditionally accompanied with fireworks and cannon.
1812. 1812. Overture?
Right. It was Boeing's first wide-body jet.
747.
Right? And Francis Gary Powers was flying this plane when he was shot down over the USSR in 1960.
U-2 spy plane.
Yeah.
The U-2 spy plane.
Correct. Finally, this is the destructive conflict that began in 1618 and was focused in Germany.
30 years
30
war.
years.
30
30
years
years
war.
war.
You got all your questions right for 100 points. Congratulations. We'll return with the free-for-all. Don't go away. Returned, and we'd like to give a big thank you to the coaches for both our teams. First, from Crystal Springs Uplands, Mr. Wells Wadley. And a big thanks to our coach from the Harker team, Mr. Bradley Stoll. And now, if you all have your buzzers in your hands, Gus the Griffin will have to sit this one out. We will begin the three-for-all. I'll start with a toss-up question. The team member who gets the correct answer will, of course, control that round. It is 100 for Harker, 60 for Crystal Springs. Good luck to both teams. Here's your first toss-up. The tallest mountain in our solar system isn't on Earth. Greg.
Mars.
Think of the Latin name for a real Greek mountain, and you have the name of what largest mountain on Mars?
Olympus Mons.
Right. Olympus Mons is a shield volcano similar in morphology to the large volcanoes making up what chain of Pacific islands?
Hawaii.
You got 40 points. Yeah. And you've evened up the score. Next toss-up. Clarice, did you know? Greg.
Silence of the Lambs.
Right. What was the rhyming nickname of Hopkins' character?
Hannibal the Cannibal. Yeah. Hannibal the Cannibal.
Correct. Anthony Hopkins also won an Emmy for his portrayal of what kidnapper responsible for the crime of the century?
Yeah. Hauptmann.
That's right, Bruno Hauptmann. 40 points. It was known as the dual monarchy and lasted from 1848. Sam.
Austria-Hungary.
Right. What dynasty ruled the dual monarchy as well as the Austrian and Spanish empires?
The Habsburgs.
Right. Using Austria-Hungary as a model, William Gladstone proposed a dual monarchy between Great Britain and what then dependency?
Ireland.
You got it for 40 points. The Grand Canyon rises to 8,800 feet in elevation on which less visited side? Greg?
The North.
I can accept that, yes. Yeah. The North Rim. What is the name of the most popular trail from the South Rim to the bottom of the canyon?
The Donkey Trail.
Sure, Donkey Trail.
The Donkey Trail.
The Bright Angel Trail. So close. Your eye doctor checks your intraocular pressure as a test for which eye disease? Peter.
Cataracts.
No. You can steal.
Astigmatism?
Astigmatism.
Glaucoma. One wicked daughter would have been quite enough. was George Orwell's critique of which Shakespeare tragedy? Emily.
King Lear.
Right. In what other tragedy does Horatio speak of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts?
Hamlet.
In which most gruesome Shakespeare tragedy does the title character serve Tamara's sons to her in a pie?
Titus Andronicus.
Correct, for 40 points. Lagrange proved that each one of these numbers is the sum of 4 squares. Name this infinitely countable set of numbers that can be defined as all non-negative integers. Yes, Greg.
Positive numbers?
No, you can steal.
Lagrange.
Natural numbers.
Natural numbers.
Right. All these answers are themselves natural numbers. What prime is the name of a magazine for young women?
17.
Right. How many steps are in the title of the 1935 Hitchcock thriller? Also a natural number.
7.
7.
The 39 steps. A 1536 act imposed English law on which country of the United Kingdom whose capital is Cardiff? Richard.
Wales.
Carnarvon Castle in North Wales was the site of the 1969 investiture of which British heir apparent?
Diana? No.
Okay.
No.
It was the Prince of Wales.
Okay.
Prince Charles. It once inspired a Monty Python song, and its alternate name, Chang Jiang, literally means long river. Richard.
The Yangtze.
Yeah, we love the Yangtze. Never mind. The Yangtze empties into the South China Sea near what city once nicknamed the Great Athens of China?
Shanghai.
Shanghai.
That's right. For 40, when visiting Shanghai, you can get from the airport to downtown on what fast land transportation whose speeds reach 500 kilometers per hour?
The maglev.
You got it for 40. Transportation problems following the earthquake and tsunami in Japan have hurt factory production. Many Japanese factories follow what process of keeping only a few days' supply on hand to minimize inventories? Peter.
Just on time.
One of the largest just-in-time facilities in the Bay Area closed last year. What was the name of this automotive joint venture?
Tesla.
Try it.
I guess.
GM.
It was Numi. We will be right back. Don't go away. Free-for-all, still with a very close game. Here's your next toss-up. In physics, what unit is defined as 1 Newton moving an object through a distance of... Yes, Greg?
Joule.
Before the joule was defined, the metric unit for energy is what quantity set as the energy needed to increase the temperature?
Calorie.
In the English or imperial system, what is the standard unit of energy?
The British thermal unit. British thermal unit.
You got it for 40 points. I don't even need to read the questions. In an 1897 H.G. Wells novel, a man discovers that his index of refraction can be changed. Peter.
The Invisible Man.
All right. In physics, whose law could you use to determine the index of refraction of water compared to air?
Tyndall's.
Sorry?
Tyndall's.
Tyndall's.
Snell's law. Cytheno and Euryale. Yes, were 2 of these 3 mythical sisters. Yes, Greg.
The Gorgons.
Thank you. The Gorgon sisters, Cytheno and what's her name, were immortal. But which other more famous Gorgon
Medusa.
was... And the third question. A beautiful Medusa appears on the logo of which fashion house?
Starbucks. No. Fashion house. Oh.
Serves you right, Buster. Versace. He first made headlines in 1968 and recently was in the news again when he was again denied parole. Name Robert Kennedy's... Yes, Emily.
Saran.
I'm sorry, I have to only allow one person to speak, but I will turn it over to you. Name Robert Kennedy's assassin.
Sirhan.
Right, for 20. Sirhan shot Kennedy only minutes after he claimed victory in what state's presidential primary?
No, not Kennedy. Is it California?
California.
Yes. For 40, the site of the assassination recently became a Los Angeles high school. What was the name of the hotel originally on that site?
The Ambassador Hotel.
You got 40 points. On a bleak December, what national bird of Bhutan perches itself on a bust of Pallas in a famous poem? Olivia.
Raven.
Yes. In The Raven, she's the young woman the poet will see nevermore.
Annabelle? No.
No.
Anna.
Annabelle.
Annabelle?
Lenore. bacteria do it when they transfer genetic material by direct contact? Yes, Greg.
Conjugation.
Yes, some languages, such as English, have non-conjugated verb forms. What is the name of the form created by prepending the word to?
Infinitive.
For 40, what is the name of the form ending in ing?
Gerund.
You got 40 points. What term is used to describe a republic or democracy which has a crowned sovereign as an official figurehead? Olivia.
Constitutional monarchy.
For 20, what is the official head of state as king and constitutional monarch of Spain? I'm sorry, who is?
Juan Reyes.
Juan Carlos I. Capitalism, a love story, was directed by which man? Yes, Peter.
Michael Moore.
Michael Moore's first film focused on the impact of an auto plant closing in Flint, Michigan. What was its name?
Crap.
No, I don't think that was the name, although some of his opponents felt it was.
Fahrenheit 9/11.
No, it was Roger and Me. Air around the low pressure center in the northern hemisphere always rotates counterclockwise due to what effect, Greg?
Coriolis.
How would air rotate around a high pressure center in the southern hemisphere?
Clockwise.
No, counterclockwise. It was Simeon I of Bulgaria, not some Russian monarch, who was the first to adopt what Slavic title? Sam.
Tsar?
Yes. His nickname would make you think twice about accepting an invitation to his palace. The first Russian Tsar was which Grand Prince of Moscow?
Ivan the Terrible?
And for 40, the term Tsar is a Slavic term derived from what Latin name?
Caesar?
You got 40 points. Europeans often put an oval sticker on the card to indicate their country of origin. A card with a single... Peter?
Passport.
Nope. A card with a single letter E on the sticker is from what country?
Estonia.
España, Spain. Egas Moniz won a Nobel Prize in medicine for what controversial form of brain surgery once... Yes, Emily?
Lobotomy.
Right. Randall McMurphy angers Nurse Ratched so much that he undergoes a lobotomy in what Ken Kesey?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Who played the McMurphy character in the 1975 film?
Jack Nicholson.
You got it, 40 points. In England, the appointment is for life. In the United States, it is for a year. What is this post? A nation's most honored poet. Olivia.
Poet laureate.
For 20, 3 Americans have been named poet laureate for more than one term. One was what author of All the King's Men?
Robert Penn Warren.
Robert Warren.
That's right, Robert Penn Warren. Warren is the only person to have won what prizes for both poetry and fiction?
Pulitzer? No.
Pulitzer.
That is right for 40 points. 300 to 420. We'll be right back for the final round.
Tournament champions will win an all-expenses-paid trip to Europe, courtesy of ACIS.
In just 3 minutes, one of these teams will move on to the Final Four. The point value is set at 30 points. Good luck to both teams. Start the clock, and here we go. After a 21-year career with CBS and CNN, this correspondent joined Fox News in January 2011. Name this reporter who shares his name with the Supreme Court Chief Justice. Olivia.
Alito.
Nope.
Nope.
You can steal.
Justice.
No answer.
John Roberts. Which mountain range that contains the country of San Marino and the peak Corno Grande is an extension? Yes, Richard.
Antilles?
No. Is an extension of the Alps and forms the backbone of Italy.
What's the one in Italy? The Pyrenees? It's not the Pyrenees. It's the Apennines. It's not the Pyrenees. Pyrenees?
The Apennines. Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel commands which Old Testament book featuring a census, the 4th book of the Bible? Olivia.
Numbers.
Right. In 1535, what conquistador who had already seen enormous success tried but failed to establish a colony in Baja California? Greg.
Pizarro?
No, you can steal.
Cortez.
Right.
Cortez.
Yes. He became famous for his play Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. Greg.
Stoppard.
That is right. He completed 150 paintings, including Wheatfield with Cypresses, during his year in an asylum at San Remi. Name this Dutch-born artist known for Starry Night. Greg.
Van Gogh.
That's right. Allegedly, he spanked Grandpa Abe Simpson on 2 non-consecutive occasions during each of his 2 presidential administrations. Greg.
Cleveland.
Right. What victor at the battles of Zela and Thaspus previously defeated the Gauls at Alesia before the Ides? Yes, Greg.
Caesar.
Right. This element is finding its way into jewelry as its hardness makes it ideal for rings that never scratch. Peter.
Platinum.
No. Which transition metal is used to make light filaments and has atomic symbol W?
Tungsten.
Right. What landlocked Asian nation was the subject of the Anglo-Russian crisis of 1885 and was yes and?
Afghanistan.
Right. What name for one of the cones of a speaker would be used to describe someone who sends yes, Greg?
Tweeter.
Right. What kind of circuit component stores energy in electric fields? Yes, Greg.
Capacitor.
Right. Unlike J.P. Morgan, the great steel magnate Andrew Carnegie was not born in the U.S. Yes,
Scotland.
that's right. Its 1946 discovery won chemist Edward Kendall a Nobel Prize. Name the steroid often injected into... Yes.
Cortisol?
What is it?
Cortisol?
May I accept that? No. Often injected into athletes' aching joints.
Cortisone.
Right. Hawking radiation originates just outside the event horizons of which astronomical...
Black holes.
That's right. The largest private landowner in New Hampshire is what organization that also owns 265 acres in Hanover that are home to its big green campus? Sam.
Dartmouth.
Right. In 1866, what first European to see Victoria Falls began looking for the Nile's source? Yes, Sam.
Dr. Livingston.
Right. Add the dots. That is the end. 390 for Harker, 780 for Crystal Springs.
Go to quizkids.tv to meet our teams, learn more about the questions on today's show, and to get tickets to see the show in person.
Thank you, Harker, for a season of great play, and congratulations to Crystal Springs for moving on to the Final Four. We'll see you next week for another Elite Eight match. Bye-bye.
The following underwriters help to make this program possible. The San Mateo Credit Union. Additional support provided by the Burlingame Scottish Rite of Freemasonry and the Knights Templar.